So I'm here with Paul James looking ahead to the 2021 British Kart Championship. I think it's safe to say the much delayed British Kart Championship, so looking forward to that one. And in fact, whilst we were filming this, we've actually just had final confirmation of the if you like, the opening round of the British Championship. So clearly with COVID restrictions taking place, GYG unfortunately was cancelled as the first round. So we're now going to be starting out at Clay Pigeon, a track that's well known for everybody, a circuit that Jenson Button actually started out his karting career at. Now, I mean, Paul, first of all, what's your thoughts on like going to Clay first time up, a circuit that you know very, very well? What comes to mind when you think of Clay Pigeon?
Fast flowing, and obviously hitting your apexes every lap. It's an awesome track. Great people down there, and I'd say it's nice to have a little bit of a delayed start with all the restrictions in place. It's only fair for obviously the government giving the go ahead when motorsport can actually start in the UK. So no, I'm very looking forward to Clay. We've done a lot of time down there in previous years, and we now know where we're going, so we're just going to get testing. And
fingers crossed the weather stays fair for everybody. We all know about Clay Pigeon. Clay Pigeon is a microclimate, so we all think to say Spa-Francorchamps in Formula One, where the weather can be raining on one side of the circuit. Clay's up on a hill, isn't it? Now,
very high.
Let's talk about, we call it the hurricane of Clay Pigeon that we had a sort of year or two ago. When the weather turns it can turn, and being on top of that weather forecast can be really important, isn't it?
Yeah, no, for sure. It can easily sweep in, but you sort of look out over the hills and you can actually see it coming, so you just got to be aware of what's happening, keep an eye on the forecast there. But yeah, we've lost a few awnings there, I should say, in the past. But it is obviously it's the same for everyone. Yeah. It's just one of them venues where it's probably near enough one of the highest tracks that we visit.
Yeah. And it's just such one thing I would say on that one. So PFI that we'll speak about in a second. If you take track surfaces very quickly, so going a bit of the technicalities of the track surface at PFI, the track surface at Clay, you can't get any further apart, can you? No. Clay, very abrasive, isn't it?
Yeah, no, very abrasive track, and that's why it's very important to not miss your apexes, because there is only one line to take around it, otherwise you hit the marbles. So, which obviously is the extra rubber which is laid down from the faster karts. So, yeah, it's you go to all these different venues and there's so many different tarmacs they use on the circuit, and it goes all the way through to any other race circuit, which is either in the UK or abroad. Yeah. And for sure, Clay Pigeon is what, as a driver, as a driver, talking about it, it's a short circuit.
Quite physical on the driver's side.
Very physical. Yeah. Feel a bit of G around there, even though you're not going that fast, you're going in the faster categories. But as a driver, you don't get bored of it. It's brilliant. Yeah. It's got everything that you would want as a driver.
Well, that's round one, and as I say, everybody's going to be heading to Clay, and then after Clay, round two, heading back to, I suppose, the southwest, if you like, same kind of part of the world. So I think they're a month apart or so not quite worth staying down there. But after Clay Pigeon, off to a new circuit for Honda Cadets anyway in the British Championship, often using road tax, and that's Mansell Raceway, Dunkswell. Now, new track. Obviously, track that's owned or part owned, I believe, by Nigel Mansell, so there's a nice link there. Quite a historic circuit. I remember racing there. You've raced there, I know, in the past. What are you looking forward to about the challenge of a new track?
Something different, more than anything else. We're always used to going to the same venues all the time. Just spices up the championship up a little bit more. Obviously, Duncanswell has been around for a long time. They've changed the track layout as well in the past. Built a fantastic new clubhouse there now to accommodate everyone. It's on the up down there, and obviously it's nice to actually do a little bit of karting in the south instead of having all the venues, say, north of Birmingham.
Well, it's a good point, because there's a nice mix now, isn't there? Yes. There's a really nice mix to the calendar, because no sooner do you have Clay and Mansell in the southwest than you're literally going all the way to the other end of the UK, with Larkford making a return. Now, Larkford, a circuit that you know certainly as a team, because I think a couple of years or so ago there has been a round at Larkford for Honda Cadets. You've raced at Larkford before. What's your thoughts around that circuit? Yes. What kind of things sort of spring to mind?
We haven't visited Larkford for a little while because obviously we've been so busy in the Midlands as well and doing stuff. But Larkford was awesome, absolutely awesome. It's just south of Glasgow. and
They've had some work done recently, haven't they?
they've put a lot of investment in up there, and I'm quite excited to go back there. Obviously, we've raced on the old track with the team, and obviously myself. So I'm definitely, when we go up testing there, I'm getting out in the kart myself with the boys, get some on-track training, and actually trying to do as much as we can with the little time we have of us going up there as a team. So I think we're looking at about doing 2 club meetings beforehand, but we're going to make the most out of them 2 club meetings for data and also training. Yeah,
so obviously new track there, and then round 4 was a new track last year, Warden Law, and one that certainly I never had experience of, but speaking to everybody within the team, drivers, parents, mechanics alike, everybody was full of praise to Warden Law. It landed really, really well. Everybody enjoyed it. Watching it on TV, on the stream, it looked like a fantastic track, very technical.
Yeah, no, Mr. Hunter's taken it over there, his boys race in the senior category. He's done a phenomenal job trying to transform that place from what it was, say, 4 or 5 years ago to what it is now. Very technical circuit. It's really, really good as a driver to drive, and we had a good result there last year with a 1-2-3 with the team. So
and how was the Paul James pulse during that last lap?
Not great, to be fair. Not great, because when you know there's 3 at the front, you just think of the worst, really. They're going to take each other out. And to be fair, they actually looked after each other out on the track on that last lap, and it was actually really good racing.
Yeah, well, it might not have been too pleasant watching it for you, but I must just say, at home, it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So and the video is on YouTube as well from the British Kart Championship, so watch it.
Yeah,
it's really,
it's
really
absolutely thrilling stuff. And so that takes you on to the final round for the British champs in Honda. And I think to prove the point you made earlier, you've got a really good spread. So we had starting out in the southwest with Clay and Mansell, then heading up more towards the north of the UK and Scotland with Larkford and then Warden Law, and then finishing off at the home of British karting in the middle of the UK, PFI. What a fantastic facility, so well looked after, and it really is a jewel in the crown of British tracks, and it's a circuit that you never expect to be missing from the calendar.
No, it's on there every year. Yeah, it's awesome. Longest track on the calendar, and the only track in the UK to incorporate a bridge under MS UK permit. So yeah, I'm really
incredible the things that kids love, isn't it? I remember going through PFI. Even my youngest, who's 6 years old, hasn't started yet. All he ever says is, "I want to go to the track that's got a bridge."
Yeah.
So whatever happens, he's going to be happy when he goes under the bridge for the first time. So that's PF. Now let's not forget 2 championships that you're doing, certainly in the Honda category, and obviously in Super One that we're going to speak about now, both Honda and the Rotax classes that you're going to be looking at. So round 1 of Super One. Great choice of circuit, and actually the circuit that you were supposed to be going to in the British Championship in April, but clearly COVID restrictions unfortunately put paid to that. But fortunately you are going to get a chance to go there in Super One, and that's GYG. Another one that, looking on as a motorsport fan, I've always thought, undulations on the track, lots of ups and downs, looks a thrilling circuit to drive, beautiful areas, are really picturesque. You must be looking forward to paying a visit to GYG and Super One.
Yeah, another circuit which is run and operated by Eddie Davis, Gleneagles they call it. That's probably not my best Welsh.
I was impressed. I'm just going to stick to GYG.
Yeah,
I was impressed.
Gleneagles, that is beautiful setting in the mountains of Snowdonia in northern Wales. Great track, great facilities again. And it has a little bit of everything. So yeah, obviously disappointed that we're not visiting for the first round of the British Champs with the rescheduled calendar, but yeah, definitely looking forward to getting back up there for the Super One calendar. And we'll probably find that a few drivers will want to do the Super One calendar because of that venue being now available. So yeah, we're going to do some testing up there as well and be prepared for it. But I think it just seems to be a little bit further away from home for me, but when we do go, we're going to make the most of it.
But that's part, I've got to say, it's part of the excitement of karting. There's nothing like loading the van up on a Friday after school, heading out for a weekend away. The kids love it, the parents love it, and I'm sure you can't wait for everyone to arrive. Now, round 2, we've covered off the circuit, but round 2 is back at Clay Pigeon again. So Clay making an appearance on both the British Kart Championship calendar and the Super One calendar. Now, the last 2 rounds of Super One, it's a 4-round championship series. The last 2 rounds are at 2 of the let's say, classic circuits in UK karting, Wilton Mill and Sheddington. Both great tracks. let's tackle Wilton Mill first of all. A circuit that I've always certainly enjoyed going to. Another one with great facilities, fantastic new clubhouse that they've got there. What's your thoughts around Wilton? Some sort of the challenges and excitement that can bring.
The good thing about Wilton, the testing availability there is really good. So we can do a lot of training up there. It's not too far to travel either, and like I say, it is quite a challenging circuit.
In the wet, it's hard and it's tough.
Yeah, it is a challenge in the wet. You spend more time on the curb than you do on the track in the wet, just to find the grit and get around the corner. Racing's always good at Wilton, and you can see everything, which is a bonus. But no, I'm looking forward to that. And it has two different characteristics. So Wilton Mill, it's fast, quite tight and twisty in the pit complex section, whereas you go to Shennington, it's all about fast flowing, making sure you've got slipstream there all the time, and you can't break away. It's one of them circuits where it's hard to win.
You get a train of karts, don't you? I mean, it's part of the excitement of Honda racing. And as I say, if you haven't watched a Honda British Kart Championship race, absolutely make sure that you tune into the fantastic coverage that the guys at Motorsport UK put on for all of the classes, because you watch a race at Shennington and it's going to be as close as anywhere. You literally do get 30 karts all slipstreaming each other, all going down the straight, moves for position, changes for position every lap. Shennington always produces absolutely thrilling racing, doesn't it?
It's hard to break away around there. So if you're in the lead, don't expect to be there for too long, because they've just told you, even if you've got a 2 or 3 kart gap, by the end of the straight, they're on your back bumper. So yeah, it's always now biting that trait, and it's always the last lap, last corner, it all kicks off.
Well, I'm absolutely can't wait to see it. So that's a run through of the circuits on both the British Kart Championship and Super 1 calendar. Obviously, Paul, I'm looking forward. I'll be with you at Lid in a couple of weeks' time or so to run through some of the preparations ahead of the season. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the team performance plays out at these circuits this year.
Yeah, no, we're obviously looking forward to going karting again in general. Lid is what we would call our unofficial test of the season. I know F1 have done their official test at Bahrain. This is ours at Lid. It's not a venue we're going to go to, but with restrictions in place, and it's quite accessible for people to go there in one day when they ease.
Really fast circuit,
really quick,
really fast circuit,
and that's what we want. We can do some more on track stuff there, and also with you itself there and a few other of our PR guys, you can actually see an in-depth look of what we do with the training wise leading up to events. So no, hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Brilliant, looking forward to it. And so say all of the information, if you want to keep track of how the team's getting on, Motorsport UK live streams for all of the events, and make sure you tune in and check it out.